Welcome to your feature presentation, the podcast where we bring you the latest and greatest movies in pop culture. Today, we're talking about our favorite Halloween horror, the horror movies that feel like fall time, crisp leaves, etc. It's really going to be exciting. But first, we've got some movie reviews. Andrew, will you guide us?
Yeah, dude. All right, I watched a short film called Sweet Revenge. Have you heard of
Okay.
this?
No, I have not.
No? All right.
Blank slate.
We are Friday the 13th lovers. We love that franchise here. Big Jason Voorhees fans and big Gorley and Rust fans. Gorley, what is their little catchphrase? They did a
And
Friday the 13th
Voorhees
thing.
with Trust with Gorley and Rust.
Yes, in Voorhees we trust with Gorley and Rust. Yes. I think of that once a week, I think.
It's great.
Anyway.
We've shouted out this many times before, but it's such a good podcast if you like horror movies. They go through all of the Alien movies, Halloween, Friday the 13th, and a bunch of other like one-offs and stuff. So it's a great podcast if you want to check that out.
It's very entertaining. And we'll reference them again later in the episode.
As
So
always.
Sweet Revenge is a short film. Some on the internet call it a fan film, but that is inaccurate, I think. Short film of Friday the 13th. It's about 15 or 16 minutes long. It's essentially everything you love about a Friday the 13th movie packed into 15 minutes. It's very fun. College students show up to Camp Crystal Lake. Some know what this place is, others don't. There's a new element kind of added to this movie. Jason Voorhees is the killer. So post part 1, right?
Right.
And it's just a really fun slasher time. It's kind of like how we felt about Alien Earth Episode 5, that we thought this is an entire movie consolidated down into an episode. Even more so. Sweet Revenge, I think it's rated less than a 6 out of 10, but like most pretty good horror stuff is in that window anyway. There's some good screams, good kills, good scares. Totally worth your time. You can watch it on YouTube, I think. So, highly recommend it. I watched it a few weeks ago. It really got me in the mood for some Friday the 13th. It's like a little warm up, you know?
That's awesome.
The ending is a really fun twist ending, which is surprising. Usually we don't get twists. Usually in Friday the 13th movies, we just get a survivor, right?
Yeah.
But there's like a plot twist at the end of this one. So it's fun. It is made from the people at the time when they made it. They held the rights. So again, not a fan film. It's straight up Jason Voorhees. They didn't have to like dodge around and call him something else or give him a different mask. Super fun time. Very well done. So
That's awesome.
I give it like a 7.5 out of 10. Bit higher.
Sweet Revenge. Yeah, Mike Nielsen, writer director. That's so cool. Yeah, I feel like the rights are so interesting because it's always something you have to kind of skirt around. Like a lot of the titles, some of the movies that are in the series, they can't use Friday the 13th or they can't use Jason or vice versa. It gets so weird. Or the hockey mask, and different stuff like that.
Do a different thing.
But yeah, that's really cool. That's fun. It's 13 minutes, so what a fun little kickoff of horror. I would say, I don't know, I'm guessing you're going to agree with this, Andrew, but I feel like horror and comedy, the ratings are a little skewed because I feel like it's a lot more subjective what makes good horror and what makes good comedy. And so I think there's a lot of times when I'm like, if somebody said it was really funny that I agree with, they're like, somebody have similar humor, like this movie's really funny, but it's only like a 5 or a 6. Like I think I'd still probably give it a try. Same thing with horror. So that's cool.
Up next, we have our top 5 Halloween horror.
Halloween horror.
Halloween.
Gregorian choir comes from behind me. Halloween. The scream mask from last week's episode.
Yeah.
Should I put it back on?
Sir.
Just kidding. It's Halloween. Yeah, so we're going to do the Gorley method. And Andrew, would you explain to us what the Gorley method is as we go through this list?
I'd love to. Heath and I both have our own separate top 5 Halloween vibe horror movies. We're going to start with the low one. We're going to start with 5. If my answer is on Heath's list, but placed higher up in the ranking, then we pause. He says, shut your trap. We're going to talk about it later. And we will. So, in the event of that, we will both speak on that movie when the time comes. Otherwise, we get some fun, oh, I forgot about that movie situations, or, ooh, that almost made my list situations. Makes for good dialogue and a very fun time.
Yeah, what I love about this too is that we don't talk about, we have our own notes for our own episodes, but then it's fun to surprise each other with, like, I forgot about that movie, but sometimes they're the exact same list. So we'll have
Yeah,
to
that's
see.
true. I think our superhero Gorley Method episode was pretty much the same movies.
It's like, surprise. All right, let's start off. Why don't you kick us off with number 5?
Coming in at number 5 for me, Andrew, is Scream, the original.
Oh, it's higher, baby.
It's
on my list.
I knew it. I thought so. All right, we'll hold off on Scream.
We just did a whole
number 5.
We just did a whole ranking episode on Scream.
Yes.
So I was
Scream is on the mind.
Yeah, I was tempted to not even have it on the list because like we just talked about it, but it's on my list and it's higher.
Couldn't help it.
Yeah, we'll hold off. Okay, Andrew, my number 5 is Evil Dead 2.
Nice. Yeah.
Writer director Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell. I love this movie. I think we've talked about this before. Go check out our Evil Dead episode. The second one is interesting because it is that kind of, it's exactly what I said, but it's like it's half remake, half sequel. He kind of continued the idea, but he wanted to fix some stuff. So it's a different start, and then it goes further than the first movie. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that when I was in college, it was kind of like, hey, if you want to check out Evil Dead and you never have, Evil Dead 2 is a great place to start.
Which is such a weird thing to say if you don't know about anything like that.
Yeah, it is.
What? Are you serious?
It is. But then it makes sense because then you watch the first one. It's like, oh yeah, it's kind of like a not as good first half of Evil Dead 2.
Yeah. Evil Dead is like a proof of concept for Evil Dead 2.
Yeah. But man, we talked a lot about, but my gosh, I almost said Joseph Campbell. Bruce Campbell. If Chins Could Kill, Confessions of a B-Movie Actor is his autobiography. It's so good. He talks about like growing up in Detroit and then like working for a summer in Traverse City, which is where I'm from. And so it's such a fun like story. And just like they made it. They were college kids that literally went to so many people just to get funding for that first movie. And it was just such a cool story. Some standouts from the movie we've talked about, but it's just like, it's a classic cabin in the woods horror. It was shot in Tennessee, but they were from Michigan, so it feels like all that combined. The Midwest, the crisp leaves,
Yeah.
Feels
like deer camp. Like if you ever went up north for deer camp with your dad or something, it feels like that.
Definitely. Yeah, so great classic horror, but definitely fall time vibes. Such a standout scene to me is Ash, his hand gets infected and he has to cut it off, but then his hand is possessed and bites him. No, sorry. Before he cuts it off, it's possessed. And so it like attacks him and he does all this like physical comedy of fighting his own hand.
Yeah.
And just that scene alone is worth like the time. It's it's good slapstick, but it's good acting. And just, you're like, how is he doing this? You know, it's like acting with his hand.
He really sells it. Yeah.
He sells it so good. Who's laughing now? Am I right? So such a good movie. Love that movie. Back my hand. And then this is like the classic, like, it's almost like Evil Dead is almost the reverse of a lot of horror tropes, because we see Jason Voorhees pick up his mask for the first time. We see, the weapons, the different things like that. This is like Bruce Campbell as Ash. He gears up in Evil Dead. He starts off as like the boyfriend who doesn't know what's going on to like chainsaw arm at the end because he's got to kill some deadites. It's so good. So yeah, that's my number 5.
Perfect. Yeah, very well paced movie. I like that it's all entertainment. Like
Yeah.
you start off and you're just thrown right in. So I love that a lot.
Pure.
Okay, Andrew's number 4
Yeah, let's do it.
is It Chapter 1.
Ooh, not on my list. Great choice.
Dude, very very good movie. Honestly, I'm surprised with myself it's not higher, and I think that it's just how it fell this year. At the point of recording, we have not watched any Welcome to Derry. So who knows? Maybe my heart for It Chapter 1 and It Chapter 2 will be revitalized in the next week or so when we start that show. But It Chapter 1 is, I think, a perfect first part to the story that Stephen King created. I think we've got a Stephen King movie adaptation episode in the works, and so we can talk more about this later. Allegedly. But I think that It Chapters 1 and It Chapter 2 as a whole, maybe a really super long movie or a whole project, is a great example of name a movie that's better than the book. It Chapter 1 by itself is vastly better than the entirety of Stephen King's It book. I've got a lot of issues with that book.
Yeah.
And we don't have to get in the weeds. We can get in the weeds with that some other time. But It Chapter 1 is great. Skarsgård as Pennywise is perfect. I never could have imagined that he could do that and has that capability. It's very entertaining, very deeply frightening. The actors they got for the children, spot on. And then when Chapter 2 comes around, the adult actors that they got to portray those kids, also perfect. Visually, very cool. The aesthetic is awesome. And it's very scary. If you're unfamiliar with the concept, conceptually, the idea that like some sort of demon alien creature will torment children to feed on their fear does so very individually. So he like lays in wait and watches, discovers what they're afraid of so that he can kind of get the big scare before he kills them in fear. And that's how he like sustains himself. Cool concept. And it's a clown killing people. Doesn't get much more Halloween than that.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I feel like there's something too about, I almost went with It, and I'm not pushing back on your list, but it's such a summer horror as well,
Yeah.
And so I guess to me that's why I didn't quite make my list, but
They're like riding bikes and there's county fairs that they're going to. Yeah, I see.
But I also feel like everything you just said also makes it feel like that kind of fall time, kid adventure, and reminded me of almost like someone said it at one point that just like it's horror Goonies. That's what It Chapter 1 is. And it's such a fun vibe, and I think you're right. I like It Chapter 2, but it's interesting how the first movie I like a lot better, and I think that kind of fixed some stuff from the books.
Yeah.
And it made part 1 a complete movie as well. Like that is a full horror movie, and like they took a book that jumps around between two timelines and they focused on one timeline, but they still made that a complete movie, which I found really satisfying as well.
Yes, 100%. Nice. All right, Heath, what's your number 4? Lay it on me.
My number 4 is An American Werewolf in London.
I've never seen this movie.
Oh, Andrew.
It's literally, I know, dude. It's literally on a list. Every time I see it, I think of you. I'm like, Heath so want me to watch this movie.
It's so good. It's directed by John Landis, David Naughton, Griffin Dunn, and it's mostly why it's on this list. My favorite Halloween horror is the opening, because once again, this opening is it's like the first like 10 to 15 minutes. It's a whole movie in of itself. You could argue this whole thing is one movie. So they're in the Highlands of the UK, and they're the two buddies and they're backpacking and then they stop at a pub and then, like there's like one of those, it's a classic like we're wary of outsiders places,
Sure.
but like so
Shutter
like
the
nope,
windows.
yeah,
Mhm.
and we're gonna like nope we're gonna, and they tell like creepy stories and stuff like that, and they go out and hike and it's all foggy and misty and they start hearing a wolf cry and they're like, where is it? It's like, is there multiple? Is it's all around us, and that's why to me this is such a like Halloween horror. It is such the classic werewolf movie. It's such a fun um it's such a fun time. And the rest of the movie is great. Some of the best practical effects you will ever see still to this
Cool.
day. The werewolf transformation are so visceral and like painful, and
Mm.
it's just like it is just a crazy sight. But yeah, like I said, just watch the first like introduction
And
between
it'll sell me. I'm done.
yeah.
Yeah.
And also that's all you have to watch too. It's just such a good take. But yeah, and I know you were gonna ask, so I just wanted to confirm there are Nazi werewolves in this as well. So
You're joking. I'm in. Do they get killed? Can I watch that happen?
all right, Andrew, what is your number 3?
Andrew's number 3 is The Shining.
Oh, not on my list. Close.
Ah,
Real close.
all right. Okay. That's so wild that it's not on your list. Okay.
Okay, here's my thing. I think it's more wintertime horror. So that's why I didn't put it
Okay.
on my list.
This is the beauty of the Gorley and Rust, the Gorley method, that I associate movies with seasons
Yeah.
based on my appeal to watch them and the vibe that I want to create inside my space. I don't put a movie in a season because of the season in the movie.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So often, movies that feel like wintertime don't even have snow. There are some. There's a lot. The Hateful Eight. Yeah, that's the Tarantino one.
Yeah.
I watch that every time we get a big first snowfall, right? Because I think of winter. Most of the time, like fall movies, Halloween movies, don't have much of anything to do with Halloween for me. And the same is true for like summer horror or like summer action movies. So it's my brain doesn't do that. And
Andrew, that's literally insane.
I know.
That's literally insane.
Most of my movies on this list have nothing to do with fall time.
These are just your
This is the
favorite
vibe. It's the
Halloween
vibe
horror.
of fall time that I want to create is these movies. I don't know.
Hey,
Does that make sense?
That's your
Okay,
own list.
so anyway,
You're welcome to do so.
leave me alone, Heath. Leave me alone. It's my list.
Oh, bummer. I have to talk about The Shining again.
Oh gosh, man.
Pity.
So it starts right around October 31st.
Yeah.
Shining's a perfect horror movie. I'm not going to say near perfect. I think it's one of the few perfect movies that exist. What could I say? Every scene, the layout of every shot, the layout of the Overlook itself is like intentionally crafted to make you feel unsettled and uncomfy and build, even in funny, relaxing moments, to build this tension that comes to a boiling point, comes to a tipping point that is horrific, that I think every child has a moment of fear like this. Like, what's my dad capable of? What is my mom capable of, right? Obviously, most of us have not gone to the extent that that Doc unfortunately gets to see. But it taps into that childlike horror. What can your brain think up, you know? The Shining is called The Shining because their son, they call him Doc, is essentially has this like supernatural awareness that Dick Halloran also shares, and he meets him at the Overlook Hotel while they're going to stay there for the winter. Which, side note, Dick Halloran is going to be in Welcome to Derry.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so there's a bunch of Stephen King crossovers in Welcome to Derry, like a Shawshank Prison
Oh, the character.
bus. The character Dick Halloran
Wow.
is going to be a main character in Welcome to Derry.
That's
And
awesome.
he's going to have, like, he's going to shine. He's going to have his shining ability.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
awesome. I love
So
that.
anyway, yeah, the family,
Sorry,
it's like,
what
yeah.
book did you say they show up? The guy is like, he winds up in Derry and it's like, dude, there's some bad juju in this town. I
Oh,
gotta get out of here.
what is it? 11/22/63, I think.
That's cool.
It's the time travel one that he tries to go back and save JFK.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he spends a couple weeks or months, like 2 months in Derry to do something. And how he describes like just crossing the border over into Derry, he's like, something is messed up here.
Yeah,
And yeah, it's a great way to describe Derry. So
that's awesome.
yeah, I love The Shining because it's very spooky, it's very dark and mysterious, but the vibe that I'm kind of looking for is shut in. It happens during wintertime. They get snowed in and they're stuck there, which is part of the horror. But I just love that so much. That's what I got.
Dude, I
Can't say
also
enough good things.
oh yeah, I mean I love The Shining. We've talked about it quite a few times, but I feel like there's a never with Gorley and Rust actually did an entire season on The Shining. So it was like I think it's 6 episodes and it's a movie that you can talk about so much more. What I will say too is I didn't bring this up before is there's a movie called Sleeping with the Enemy with Julia Roberts. Do you remember this?
Okay. No.
So it's like kind of like it's like a thriller. It's like she's in this marriage that he is not a good guy, and so she runs away and escapes, and then it becomes kind of like a cat and mouse like chase because he's trying to find her, and she tries to like fake her own death and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But anyways, just to just to show the vibe in that movie, they actually use the Shining soundtrack in like unsettling scenes, which is also
Weird.
like, I'm always like, back in this, like this was 91, but still, it's like, how does that work? It's such a weird thing because it's like, if you have the rights, we're like, just use the Shining soundtrack. But it
Yeah.
was so ingrained that this is scary. It's the da 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 da, and so like they just use that cue, which is I would say is cheating for that movie to use, but
Yeah.
it's like they're pulling from it because like this is horror, this is existential
Mhm.
horror, and just like we want you to feel this way, so we're gonna use the Shining soundtrack.
It's kind of like if you're in the ocean and there's a shark nearby, you have to use the Jaws soundtrack. in
Exactly.
Any movie ever. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the unsettling nature of the Overlook Hotel, how the rooms don't make sense, like the walking through
Yeah.
the lobby. We've talked about like the shot reverse shot conversation switch shoulders
Mm-hmm.
that they're looking over, and it's just a bunch of stuff to done. A bunch of stuff to done. It's done to freak you out, make you unsettled, you know?
Whether you recognize it or not, it's unsettling. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Beautiful.
crazy. Love it. All right. My number 3. Is it on your list? We'll find out. Sleepy Hollow.
It's on my list and it's higher.
Oh, can't wait to talk about it.
Oh.
All right. So, Andrew, I think your number 2 will be very revealing about who you are as a person. I said
Our
it.
number 2 is Sleepy Hollow. Let's talk about Sleepy Hollow.
Beautiful.
All right, Heath. Why don't you start us off? You were ready.
Well, I guess I was ready. Yeah, this is the Tim Burton, Johnny Depp, Christina Ricci, Christopher Walken starring. I always
Yeah.
forget Christopher
Technically,
Walken.
Christopher Walken.
You know, and every time he shows like, "Hey, it's the headless horseman."
Where's my head over here, huh? Hey, where's my body?
It's just the head was having that whole conversation.
What are you doing?
Sleepy Hollow 2, what the head was doing. Where's my body?
Where's my body?
Um,
What are you talking about?
I love this movie. To me, this is such the colors, the music, the use of leaves. It just feels like
Leaves blowing around.
leaves blowing around. It's just like the color palette is so fall time. Like the Headless Horseman, the use of like pumpkins, you know, it's just stuff like
Yeah, even like the time period
Yes.
is what we decorate for. So like Halloween comes around and we're like default to straw everywhere, horses, trails, like people pilgrim dressing, like
Yeah.
that's immediately what you think of, like Salem witch trials type stuff.
Yeah. New England and
Yep.
definitely those vibes. But yeah, it's just I just love the style of this movie. For also, if every time you watch this movie, there's so many people. You're like, oh, he's in this. Oh, he's in this.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Christopher Lee is the main judge in the beginning. Um, Emperor Palpatine is one of the judges. Like it's like everyone from a main genre film. It's like Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, or Harry Potter. They're all like all the teachers are in this movie as different people. But it's the mystery of like who brought the horsemen back, and that kind of stuff. But it is just such a fun. It's such a good looking movie. The soundtrack is great, and it just feels like fall to me. So I love that movie.
Couldn't agree more. Okay, that's your number 3. It's my number 2.
Mm-hmm.
What's your number 2?
Oh, do you want to say anything more about it? Or are you ready to move on?
I'll say that I'm new to this movie. That Sleepy Hollow was not one that I'd ever seen until a year ago, per your recommendation. So I think I'm really going to like American Werewolf in London, because last time you recommended me a Halloween movie, it was Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah.
And that's one of my faves now. So
speaking of recommendations, a couple of our mutual friends, like Andrew Clark, watched The Thing for the first time off of our recommendation. And
cool.
I've never been so excited for someone to be like, I'm so glad you got to experience that movie, because I love it that much.
Iconic.
So go watch The Thing. I didn't put the
Honestly, I'm surprised that's not on my list.
Yeah. It wouldn't be on my list because it's a wintertime horror, baby.
I know. Those are weird.
I know. Yeah. If it's in snow, it's winter. I don't know. I'm weird like that. All right. So my number 2, you know it. You love it. Scream.
Hey, finally. Okay, great.
So why don't you start us off, because you've been holding your bated breath.
Perfect. Scream. I think I've said this before. Scream was the door opening, a gateway drug to horror movies for me. This was among the first few horror movies that I had ever watched as like someone making my own decisions, right? Like this is revealing. I got a laptop and I started pirating movies off the internet. I was like 17 years old, I think, and I was like, I'm just going to start watching movies. What the heck's going on? That laptop was toast not long after. I was like downloading fake movie files. Yeah. Not good. So don't recommend. Just go to like a DVD store and get it for $1. But I watched Scream and I thought, wow, this is incredibly entertaining. It's very fun. I love that they acknowledge and weave in tropes into the movie. Not just that they're making fun of horror movies, but that they're making fun of it while they're falling into the trope. I thought is like hilarious. And I thought Shaggy was really great. Matthew Lillard in Scream. It was great to see him in a different role that was not Shaggy, because that was the only thing I'd seen him in up to that point. And he does great in both. Talk about range. Serial killer and the beloved Shaggy. Incredible. That's what I got.
It's so good. I love this movie. Obviously, we just did a whole Scream ranking episode. And yeah, once again, I feel like this feels so much like fall to me. I think it's my version of fall, unlike Andrew's weird version.
Yeah, whatever.
But it's, you're entitled to your wrong opinion. I get it,
I know I am. I'll feed it.
No, because but like to me, it's school, right? It's going back to school. It's like house parties, but it's not snowing yet, so it just feels like fall time, even just like timeline wise, obviously. Yeah. But horror movies are always so good in the fall time, Halloween time. And this one is such a meta celebration of horror movies. It's, we've talked about this before, but don't show someone Scream until they've seen Halloween, until they've seen, said scary movie you watch after
Friday the 13th,
because it spoils
Nightmare on Elm Street,
which is cool because Wes Craven, the director, also did Friday the 13th. So it's cool to see him reinvigorate a genre that was kind of dying at this point, to be like, we're bringing back slashers, you know? So yeah, huge love for the Scream franchise. All right. So Andrew, we're down to your number one.
Yeah, dude.
All right. So let's do this because I think we have the same one.
Yeah, we do.
So let's count it down. We'll say 3, 2, 1, then we'll say it. Ready? Our number one movie. 3, 2, 1. Halloween.
There you go, buddy.
Again, how can you? I think the hard part too is because I think Friday the 13th as a series I might like a little better than the Halloween series, but you can't.
That takes place during summertime, Heath.
Exactly, and that's not a fall-time movie. No, but you can't deny that Halloween. That's actually why I know Friday the 13th made my list.
Oh, are you serious? Oh, wow.
But you can't deny that the first Halloween is probably the best movie in either of those series. You know, I mean, of Halloween and Friday the 13th.
Say this sentence one more time.
Okay.
What?
The original Halloween movie is the best movie of the Halloween series and the Friday the 13th series.
Dude, have you seen Jason X? Yeah, I think I would agree with you.
Well, because there's a lot of stuff I love. I mean, we talk about how Friday the 13th Part 2 is better than the original film, but I don't think any Friday the 13th movie peaks above the original Halloween.
No. That's like saying, like, Kevin, we're going to hard shift. Kevin Kleiner, you know him? Composer for Star Wars TV shows like The Clone Wars and The Bad Batch and stuff. That's like, he's got incredible, really good scoring, but none of his best is better than the worst of John Williams.
Right.
Would you say that the worst of the Halloween series ever is trumped by a Friday the 13th movie?
Yeah. I mean,
you would? There's high highs and low lows, man.
I was going to say, so which one has the worst?
Yeah, like are there any mainline Halloween movies that are worse than Friday the 13th Part 2?
If we're wait, say that again?
Are there any mainline, like main canon Halloween movies that are worse than the best Friday the 13th movie?
Oh yeah. I mean Halloween, I think the bad points are really even though this one I like because it's so bad, but Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, which doesn't have Michael Myers in it. I think it's the one with Paul Rudd and the Cult of Thorn. That's a pretty low.
Sure. I know what you're talking about, yeah.
That's a pretty low one. I think it's 6 or 7, maybe. Those are all, I would say definitely those are both under quite a few Friday the 13th. But then Friday the 13th, your low points, I mean, we're talking, Jason X.
Yeah.
Pretty bad. That's probably that's the one that feels cheap. It feels like what it is, a studio shot 2000 movie in Canada, you know?
Yeah.
But then
it's just so weird that like that's the one that gets so cheap because they go to space.
Right.
That's the one they go to space, right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
And also Jason Goes to Hell isn't very good.
Oh yeah.
3D is so funny. I love 3D, but then it's also
yeah.
It's like the gimmicks of you can tell every shot that they're like, we used a 3D camera here. It's like, we know. Yeah. It's so funny. So that's hard to say.
Where you throwing that thing, man?
Like, yeah, what's better? I think I like Friday the 13th better just because I like the whole summer camp counselor thing. But what series is better? I think Halloween has the better movie, which is definitely one.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think Halloween has the best movie and is the better series.
Yeah.
Both are incredibly fun. Do not get us twisted on that.
Oh yeah. It's so fun to watch them all the way through, and they're so different. Like when you get to Halloween keeps trying to revamp and redo. Like
Yeah.
Halloween 1, then Halloween 2, then Halloween 3 is a completely different story. But then Halloween 4, I think every movie after 2 pretends that 2 doesn't exist, because then
Yeah.
Laurie is back in Halloween. I think it's Halloween 4. So it's like, oh, 2 didn't exist. And then
Yeah.
Halloween H2O, 2 doesn't exist. And like every time they reboot it, Halloween 2 doesn't exist, but then it's only 1 and H2O, 1 and the new one, the 2018 Halloween. So it's
Yeah.
like they keep rewriting their story. The fun thing about Friday the 13th, until the most recent remake movie, it's all one story. It just keeps going, which I think that's
Right.
really fun. Unbowed, unbent, unbroken. Am I right?
Oh, wow. Amen. Yeah, I find the new ones interesting that they suggest, like, you correct me if I'm wrong, that the suggestion would be with the two most recent ones that you could watch Halloween original, Halloween the reboot, Jamie Lee Curtis comes back, and
2018.
then Halloween Kills. And that is a trilogy that you can just watch those three. And I
And then
think I
Halloween
like that
Ends.
idea. Oh.
There's 3 of the new ones, the Danny McBride ones.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
But
But
you're right.
that I
It's
think
just the one, and
that's
then
interesting. They're
trilogy.
kind of like they're not going backwards to say let's retell the story in 1982 or whatever for Halloween 2,
Yeah.
but they're just saying like what if there was a huge gap where nothing happened
Mhm.
and it's 2018 and we start again. I like that concept because you're right, there's a lot of weird crazy stuff in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the part about Halloween is it's always supposed to be Michael Myers is supposed to be a real person, like a flesh and
Yeah.
blood human. That like the most intense it gets is that he's got evil eyes, soulless eyes, like a doe's eyes. Um, but he's supposed to
Quint?
be flesh and blood. Um, but then so 2, he pretty much dies, and there's a few other reasons like Jamie Lee's character, but they can't go off of that, and I think they don't want to make him a mythical character. Um,
Yeah.
but then they always end up doing it because even in Halloween Kills, like when they're like the street fights of like them like fighting Michael Myers, they're like, no human can take this. Like he clearly is
Right.
mythical. Um, but then what I love is Friday the 13th goes the other way. They're just like, we don't care. Like, or he is magical. So he's like,
Yeah.
nope, we killed him. He's at the bottom of the lake and he's just sitting down there. And then a light or electricity zaps him and brings him back to life. And
Yep.
yeah, there's a whole, they wanted to do I think it's Halloween or it's Friday the 13th New Blood that they wanted to get Carrie to do a Carrie versus Jason movie from
Yeah.
the movie Carrie,
Weird.
and they couldn't get her, so they just got this other random girl with telekinesis,
Yeah.
telekinesis Tina, and they just had them fight. It's just like, what is this movie?
Mhm. This off-brand
Um,
Carrie.
and it's so funny too because there's like Friday the 13th is so chaotic because some of them are like have a lot of like nudity and like sexual content.
Yeah.
And then one of them is like it's like a Catholic director. So it's like a super clean, like not
Mhm.
even, part of it. But it's just so like such a interesting.
So many
road.
different takes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good stuff.
dude, what a great movie.
Well, that's our
Mhm.
favorite fall time horror, our Halloween horror. Um, yeah, that's all we got for today. So I think we'll just kind of wrap it up there, Andrew, unless you have anything to say about Halloween. Let's say this. What's your number one Halloween recommendation? Like this fall, if you're going to watch one scary movie, what are you telling people to watch?
Wow. I think it's It Chapter 1.
Wow, that's a really good one.
That's the one that I talk about the most. I say like, "Oh, have you seen this?"
Yeah. That's a great call. I think I would say Halloween, just because it kind of starts it all off. And if you can't, you can't start with Scream, we established this.
No.
But the fun part about Halloween, what you do is you watch Halloween, and in it they watch the original Thing, and then you go watch the Thing again because to celebrate that. So
Boom. It's all connected.
That's all connected. All right, Andrew, take us home.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Thanks for tuning in. As always, you can find us on Spotify and YouTube. Full video shows there. Subscribe and follow us on there. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok. That's where we have most of our conversations with all of you. It makes it very fun. So follow us there, interact with us, whether we're talking about a subject that you enjoy or you would like to suggest a subject. That is the place to do it. Heath, ladies and gentlemen, go see a movie.
Go see a movie.